Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Oh, no.
Low network connection.
All right, we're going to record video.
Yep. Good idea. Let's just record it.
All right, well, we were going to try and do the live thing, but it didn't work. We got a little lost, but we ended up in a good place where hopefully...
And we're connection available. What?
Hold on. All right, this may go in and out. We're having some technical difficulties, but hopefully we're back just to kind of show you when we started out the path that we were walking on. Again, whether you can take a left, whether you can take a right. Turns out we actually even took the wrong way, but had to climb up a little hill, and then we made it where we were supposed to be going. So
here we are, yay!
but we wanted to talk to you guys today about just about our journey. I want to give it just a minute or so and see if anybody jumps on, but you know, if you guys don't know this, so Drema and I came together, what was it, like a year ago?
About a year ago.
About a year ago, and actually a friend had introduced us, and it's been an amazing experience just knowing you. And I look at where I was when I met you, and where I am now, and a lot of that is just because of this connection that I've made with this incredible human being.
Thank you.
And
the same way.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's been incredible. And so why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
I sort of lost for words so much. I've had a wonderful experience, and I believe that we all come here with a purpose and a defined purpose for being here in this realm, in this space and time, and I believe that I have came here for the purpose of bringing connection to the divine Spirit of God and to speak the words for those people that need to hear them. And so that's what I basically spend my time doing, is really connecting to the spirit realm for people, and just bringing a light. And I believe holding that space of light, that's so powerful. And that I meet people all the time. That's what we came here for, is to just be the light. And that's what brings us together and unites us as one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's sort of a little bit, I just want to shoot out there, of why I'm here and what I'm doing. And that's what Destiny Words is about. It's about speaking the word, because words are powerful. They change our life. And when you speak a word, I don't care what it is, you are speaking right into that person. And that's why it's so powerful what we say to our children from the time we're small. Yeah. And speaking life to people.
Well, and what we say to ourselves. I mean,
that's huge.
So, we didn't really know what we wanted to talk about today, but, we usually let kind of, both her and I deal a lot with delivering messages to other people.
Yes.
And however you guys want to call that, but I accept the responsibility that I am a messenger in this life, and there are messages that I carry through me from Spirit or from God, from my angels, that other people need to hear. Yes. And that is, to me, that is the heart speak. That is recognizing the heart and others and the connection, and being willing to having enough courage to deliver those messages as well, because we talked a little bit too about this morning about being uncomfortable, and so we're as we were kind of looking at what we wanted to talk about, some things that came up with Drema were momentum,
huge.
And some things that have happened, I think, in both of our lives have presented an opportunity where we could have chosen not to do something, and we could have chosen not to take action. And what we're learning right now, and what we're doing in business, in our personal lives, in our relationship lives, that we are pushing through that. We're discovering those answers in ourselves, and we're taking action despite our minds holding us back. We're changing our stories and recognizing that that's a process.
That's good. Yes, that's right. It's totally retraining the brain. Yeah. Because you've been trained to connect to the past and living out of a memory and not living out of the present moment of now. We talk about, let's be in the moment now. This is a beautiful moment, and we get out of that moment and we start functioning out of either what happened before
Right.
or what we think may happen tomorrow.
Right.
And we jump out of the space of just being now and how beautiful it really is.
Yeah.
You know, and obstacles, that's what I was thinking on the way here. All the obstacles you can look at. I'm cold, I'm tired, you know, and that slows the momentum. And
Right.
that's what we were talking about. What, you know, we come into life and we come in with such what would you call it? Just like we're fired up, you know.
Yeah,
We're little children. We're just
yeah.
all fired up to live
Passion,
life. Yeah,
creativity,
that's it. Yeah, excited.
innocence.
And what comes along then can slow the momentum. You know, the things that the monkey mind and the
Yeah.
things that come into our mind that we're what would you call it? The environment
Yeah.
that we come into can slow that momentum for us.
Yeah.
So that we don't really feel like we're connected to what our purpose.
Yeah. Well, and I
is.
think one of the things that we need to realize is it's not about our circumstances. It's not about our environment. It's not about any of that.
Exactly.
It's about the limitations and the restrictions and the barriers that we set up in our own minds. With all of the people that I talk to on a daily basis, if they're not happy with where they are, if they're not doing the thing that they love to be doing, it's because they've set those self-defining limitations and they're too afraid to look at them to get past them. Maybe it's at a point where it's become too comfortable.
That's good.
You know, and one thing I was telling Drema today is not to let your past define your future, because if you truly want something different, then you're going to have to go for more.
Different.
You're going to have to do something different, and
Yeah.
life is not designed to be comfortable. And actually growth and transformation and getting better and mastering a skill and practicing actually requires that you put yourself in a place of being uncomfortable,
places, yeah.
in a place of being pain, you know, and to the point of being painful,
Yeah.
and still doing it anyway.
Yeah, that's the hard stuff.
Yeah, it is the hard stuff. But you know what?
Yeah.
And what we were talking about is, you know, what a metaphor today that we're sitting on top of this beautiful hill. We have this beautiful view around us. We're sitting in the sunshine. It's gorgeous. We took the wrong path in getting here. And, you know, how many people decide that if they took the wrong way, it's hopeless and they feel helpless and they become victims of different things. And so they stop themselves from looking around and seeing the solution,
Yes.
because there's always a solution. And literally we looked over and we went, oh, there's the
There
bench.
it is,
It's
yeah.
up, you know, it's at the top of this little hill. But how much better is it that we had to climb up a hill? I felt better taking a walk. I felt better pushing my body a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we get the joy of being able to sit in this beautiful spot.
Space in the sun.
Yeah, and enjoy the sunshine.
I think it was
and-
all purposed. We had to go the other way because it's the contrast of being able to look at it the other way and say, hey, you're gonna have to work a little harder for this.
Right. Well, and
How much do you want it?
And I think too.
You know?
Sorry,
That's all right.
I just got the
That's
I can't
windy
see
out.
myself, but I got the crazy hair going on. You know, and I think one of the things that, at least for me, and I just when I talk to people, I hear a lot of people resonate with this too. You know, for me, it became a time in my life when I was so afraid to. We talked about this, that I was so afraid of failure, or told myself I was so afraid of failure that I never even tried. If I couldn't hit perfection the very first time that I did it, then I didn't even do it. I was my own worst enemy my entire life, and we become that. You know, as I've changed some different actions in my life, and as I've started taking steps forward and gaining that momentum and actually succeeding, one of the next things that I had to learn is it wasn't about failure that I was afraid of, it was about success. And what that did is that provided a lesson in my life that I've held on to some very limiting beliefs about my potential. I've held on to some very limiting beliefs about where I actually want to go and where I feel like I deserve to be. And when I say deserve, you know, I know a lot of people run away from that, and they want to play a little bit meek, and they want to be like, oh no, I don't know if I deserve that, but absolutely I deserve that, because I'm working my ass off for it. That's why I deserve that.
That's exactly
and that is, it's that changing that story in your mind. It's that changing your perspective. It's that stepping out of who you used to be and being okay with where you are right now, and saying, okay, this is my passion, this is my purpose, and deciding and committing and not letting anything stand in your way of getting there, and taking those steps and realizing again that, yes, those steps are small, but those steps add up, and it's the process, it's the journey, it's the progress, it's all of that is so exciting, and it's totally worth it, because that's going to lead you, and no matter what your dream is, that's going to lead you into a life of passion and a life of happiness and a life of joy despite your circumstances.
This is what we've been told, that we are not deserving.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason it starts when we're really young, and then we get older and we're like, I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
And so you have to retrain the brain and go through all this crap and then come out of it and be like, wow, I do deserve that. I am worthy. This is good for me.
Right.
And I deserve the best. Why would I want anything less?
Right. Well, and that's a hard concept to that's a hard concept to own. And I'll tell you, when I've started practicing owning that, and knowing that, my actions matter, and my intention matters, and my impact matters, and my words matter, and I start really owning that and taking responsibility for that and starting to change it. If I don't like it, then I start to change it and push myself into that being uncomfortable and being painful so I can get past it. I have met, because of that, I have met the most incredible people. Yes. I have had the most incredible experiences.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
And I get, and when Spirit talks to you,
whew, and
Spirit talks to you.
You gotta go. That's right. When it happens, and I don't care if you're in Walmart, you gotta go. And it's like, connect with that person. They need this message.
Yep.
And it's sometimes I mean, I think that what did you call it? Media, TV, whatever, entertainment has totally made it something different than what it really is. In a way. Yeah. But it's a very real thing, and I think we all have that gifting, that sensing deep within us that says, okay, I need to move on this. This person needs me. That person needs me. And you feel it even when you're connected to people, loved ones. You can be like somewhere and feel something's going on with somebody in my family.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh, that's what it was. You know? It's just very powerful.
Well, and there's a lot of people, I think one of the reasons why as a society we're suffering now from, more depression, more anxiety, ADHD, HDAD, whatever mental disorders that we're coming up with for all of these symptoms that we're having. I think the thing is that the symptoms are not the root cause. The root cause is that we're losing our purpose. Yes. We're losing the ability to ask ourselves the questions of, why am I here? What is my journey? What are the things that I want? Holding yourself accountable to those answers, and then deciding what your next action is going to be.
Yeah, that's the climbing the hill.
Yeah, that's the climb.
You get to the bottom of the hill, you made the wrong turn, it's okay.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission, love yourself, and say, it's okay, I made the wrong turn. I'm at the bottom of the hill, there's my destination over there.
But let me ask you a question. I because this is something that I think about and all the time, and all the motivational things that I listen to, is the wrong turns actually teach us the biggest lesson. Yeah. So that's not really the wrong.
That's not really the exactly. You're right.
It's really the lessons in life that are going to.
Well, it's what appeared to be wrong.
Yeah.
What appears, the appearance of it is, wow, you grabbed the wrong shopping cart.
Yeah. Well, and again, and in perspective. So there's a lot of things about today, and I'll tell you guys, like where we're sitting right now, we could have a lot of perspectives about the situation. We're sitting on a bench, we're sitting on a hill. We're cold, we're sitting in the sunshine, we're warm, and all of those things would be correct. But and we can do that in our lives, and we can take one little piece of our lives. Hey everybody, so sorry, hold on, I want to look at the comments really quick.
Yeah, you better check it.
All right, yeah, Jancy, that's right. The wrong turns are great lessons. Turn right for sure. And it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, my friend. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on, Stacy and Johnny. Okay, so back to perspective, but you can take one perspective of your life and you can take that story of depression, or you can take that story of anxiety, or and you can identify with it and you can own it, and that can be your story. And that may be correct, but you can take some of the things that are beautiful about your life, that you're grateful for about this life. You can take those events that change your life and you can identify with those. And that's correct as well.
And you could say, oh, I can choose to say, I'm so cold. Or I choose to say, oh, the sun is out.
Right.
And it's so beautiful.
And it gets you out of that story of confinement. It gets you out and it opens up your perspective.
That is so powerful and so awesome, because that is exactly what you have to come to that place of changing the way you're seeing something. And it's like and not being confined by your environment. Because that's the old, that I heard years ago. There was a story I heard. A friend of mine was taking a class, and they said that they were teaching in the class. This was like a regular, I think it was like sociology, whatever, And they said that, well, my grandpa was a garbage man, my dad was a garbage man, so guess what? I'm going to be a garbage man. And he said, no. I refuse to believe that. I'm not a garbage man just because my grandpa was a garbage man. Because that does not define me, and that is so powerful, because we can't let what our family or everything dictate to us and say, this is what defines who you are.
Right.
Because you are the most created, unusual, unique experience that Christ consciousness has ever brought to the earth, It's awesome. So
well, and again, with that shift in perspective and that change in your story, I think what we need to realize is whatever we believe is right.
Yes.
It's and let me redefine that a little bit. Not whether what we believe or what we believe is right, whether we believe it's right or wrong or one way or another, that's what will happen in our lives. Because it's those beliefs, whether we think we are or whether we think we're not, whether we think we can, whether we think we can't, whatever we believe,
we define it,
and then we live up to that. So I challenge you to look at those beliefs, and I challenge you to look at those stories that you're telling yourself, and the things that you're doing to confine your life,
and your momentum.
And
look at your momentum.
And if you don't like, where you are right now, or you're dissatisfied, or you're needing a different way to go, or you're just not sure, what steps to take. One of the things that, as I was driving over here, when we were first starting, a couple of our talks, we were talking about self-care and self-love and all of that. And, to me, there was this moment where my brain went, yeah, but that's all bullshit. And the reason I say that is because we know that this is not about educating things on things that you guys don't know or things that I don't know, because we know this. We know how to take care of ourselves if we chose to do it. We know the things that will make us feel better if we chose to do it. It's how do we choose that? And especially when life happens, especially when circumstance happens, especially when we hit those funks and we hit those different things,
and you're honest with yourself, man, I'm in a freaking funk.
And being honest about it, that's and when you're there, you have the choice to be able to say, I'm either going to let this consume me, I'm going to let this get the best of me, or I'm going to push through it. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get through it. And then once you make that decision, I guarantee that life will bring you the messages that you need. They will. And how many times have you been in somebody's life, or somebody has come across your path and they are like, I literally just prayed last night. I literally just asked myself, I needed this message. I needed this next step. I needed that. And you're like, that's what I'm here for.
That's my purpose. That's what I've came for. Exactly. And it redefines you. It brings you that jolt that you need to say, get out of that freaking funk. This is your purpose. Wake up.
Yep.
You know?
So one of the things that I think is going to be kind of our purpose together is we're going to start with some teaching some classes. So we want to invite anybody that's interested. I'm going to throw Drema's website information up here. You guys can contact me. You guys can contact her. We're going to be doing some different classes. The first one that I'm going to be doing is going to be next week, and this is because I'm around a lot of young professionals right now who are wanting to make different career choices in their life, and it kind of got me thinking. And then when I came over here, we were talking about not knowing what we don't know about business, about different things like that, and not allowing that to stop us. So I'm going to be actually starting a class next week. It's going to be working on a business plan, and kind of an introduction to getting yourself some momentum when you feel stuck, either emotionally or physically or mentally. We're going to kind of it's going to be a 3-part class. We're going to be charging $35 for the series, so it's going to be $35 for 3 classes, and then we're going to be providing some handouts to the class, some different little tools and stuff like that, so that we can get your guys' hands on as well. And then from there we're going to kind of build on those classes as well. But that's going to be the start of the first class, and that's going to be next week. I will also throw in the comments of when and where that's going to be next week. No later than, what do you think we'll hear back on that space? Like maybe today or tomorrow?
Yeah.
So stay tuned, you guys, for that one. We'll throw some invites out there as well, and then we would love to see you guys there. And then what else?
I'm working on doing a meditation class slash really just bringing people into meditation. Meditation is so powerful, and it really helps us focus. It helps us really retrain the brain. It really does. I think that's the only way to retrain the brain is through meditation. So I'm working on setting up a meditation class. It will be through Meetup toward the end of April. That's what I'm looking at. So
and we'll keep you guys posted too, and anybody that's on my page as well, I'll keep you guys posted of when that is.
It'll be out there.
And you are planning to do some festivals as well?
Yes, I'm going to do some expos and festivals that are coming up this year. I hope to connect to, there's one in April, there's another Spirit Expo, like psychic fair, that comes to Grand Rapids like later on in the year. So I want to connect, have a table, maybe be there. That would be really awesome. So
that would be. Like I said, I'll be your chauffeur.
Yes. Yeah, that's sounds good.
And another thing, guys, too, is some of the things that I'm going to be doing with classes is it's not just the personal development, but just getting out of that getting your mind unstuck, getting your life unstuck, because I think that's huge, more so right now it's not about it's not about learning new information. We have tons of information. We're just not applying it. So what I'm going to try and do, and as I learn, to kind of be able to say what's the best way to stack some of these classes, so you guys are getting the most efficient information, that's going to help you and propel you the most forward, empower your life the best to be able to get where you want to go. We're going to talk about, things that you're going to hold yourself accountable for, and then choices that you can make to get yourself out of that. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about how we can move forward with this.
Definitely.
And
see where we're all going to go, what we're doing. Where the Spirit's going to lead us. That's why I'm always like, okay, where are we going with this? It's going to be good. I'm excited.
Well, and I think one of the things is with the business, that I'm trying to help connect all of these people. The whole model is that we're stronger as a we really are, and that's what,
as a unit.
And that's what fuels my purpose and my passion of wanting to connect people, wanting to connect them to opportunity, want to connect them to love, want to connect them to decisions in their life that are going to get them to grow and transform and all of that. I mean, that's what really gets me super excited, and that's how I know that I'm on the right path with it. But I think we tend to, the group support is great, and it can teach us when we're stuck to be able to, feel like we have the courage, feel like we have a starting place to be able to take a step forward. But I think what I think what I want to try and help with people is knowing that, it's that facing it in yourself. You can't run from that. You can't run from not answering those questions. Those questions are the pathway to your soul and your passion and your heart and your fire. Those are the questions. And so it's about holding yourself accountable to those. And what I'd really like to be able to do is to be able to show people and be able to let them know that when they're in those darkest moments of looking at those patterns,
right,
and those things in our life that discourage us, or maybe that we're unforgiving of, where you can look at those and you can look at it from a perspective, be able to forgive the situation, be able to let the situation go, and then be able to make a new choice, and really handling that when that fear hits you, and handling when that anxiety hits you, and knowing and showing you how to be able to breathe through it, how to release it, how to let go of it, and then how to make a new choice, because ultimately, that's going to get us where we want to go. And it doesn't matter, like you and I were talking about, it doesn't matter what the dream is, and each of us have that unique dream, and whatever that is, go for it.
Exactly.
But the steps on getting there, they're
most everybody
the
will
same.
say that. They'll say, how do I get from here to there? And that's the problem. We've been talking, we talk, but we don't say, and then they'll come back with, well, how do I do that? So that's what we want to talk about. How do we want to do that?
Right.
And sort of, I kept picturing when you were talking, like shades rolling up. You know what I mean? Like you pull the shade, and all of a sudden it goes and rolls up. It's like we're opening the shades, because get rid of the bullshit and open the shades, and just let it come in, and let the sun in, let the rain in, let whatever's happening just be happening, and give yourself permission to be there at that moment, experience it, and let it go.
And let it go. Absolutely. Let that shit go.
Yes.
That is great advice.
Yes.
And you know what? We're at the perfect time, because, and as we go through our lives, there are seasons to our lives. Just like if you live in Michigan, you understand that there are seasons in Michigan. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited and so happy today is the sun is out. It feeds my soul. It's so beautiful. Good. We get to sit outside. And, I will be the first to admit this winter kicked my ass. This winter kicked my ass, but you know what? It helped make me stronger.
Yes.
And so now we've got some of that momentum going, because we made it through winter, because the sun is coming out, because the days are getting longer, and we're going to be able to jump on more opportunity. So anyway, that's again, you guys, please feel free to reach out. I'm going to post the schedules of everything as we kind of work today to kind of hammer out the details with all of that. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for following us, and thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. And if it's something that inspires you, or you're interested in, or anything like that, please share it. Please leave a comment. This is our bread and butter, and this is why we do this, and this is why, having that impact and creating that connection and that heart speak with other people. I don't know. I do know about
I love what you said. You're like, I'm a world changer. I'm a world changer, and I'm like, wow, this woman is a world changer. She's out to change.
I am out to change the world.
And change the world. So I'm just so glad we made a connection. This is powerful.
Me too. And
it's good.
And you know what? Again, you find the people that support you in this life. Find the people, and you guys, I posted something with Will Smith on it, and he's like, who you have? Do the people around you fuel your fire, or are they trying to piss on it?
Yeah, that was excellent. I know. I seen that too. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I was like,
I love this guy.
I'm like, well, not only have I surrounded myself with a lot of people that have tried to piss on my fire, I've pissed on my own quite a bit.
Yeah, we tend to do that. Yeah.
But surround yourself with, and that's one of the first steps. If you want to talk about changing your life, you change your action. If you don't know where that is, then come to one of our classes. We'll be able to show you how to do that. But leaving you guys with some knowledge right now, one way to do it, look at what hasn't worked for you. Look at what the decisions that you have been making that haven't gotten you anywhere, and make the completely opposite decision. That may be a little bit more extreme and a little bit scary, but I tell you, I practiced that. that for about 2.5 months when I started this journey, because I literally didn't know where I wanted to go. All I knew is that the decisions that I had made before and the places that I had ended up had not gotten me where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it was scary, but in some ways it was an empowering way, because I couldn't use that I don't know what to do now as an excuse. I couldn't use that I don't know what action to take, because I actually did.
I don't know who this is for, but all of a sudden when you were saying that, something said, I heard the Spirit say that may even require you to put some people out of your life. So you're going to have to let go of some people. So whoever you are, don't be afraid. You got to sometimes you got to shake it off.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot have you. You're toxic. I've got to remove you from my environment, because it's toxic.
Yeah.
So you're trying to move forward. Yeah, I'm going. And they're pulling you down.
Yeah.
And so just encouraging you, move forward and just shake it off and say, I can't hang out all the time with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are family members. I hate to say that, but sometimes
No,
they are.
a lot of the times they're family members. Tell you that I've learned that lesson for sure, and it's not because I don't love them.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of the times it's the people that are closest to you, and again, you become who you surround yourself with.
That's the truth.
You really do. That's not just some hippie voodoo bullshit. That's not just some power of positive thinking or law of attraction or anything like that. Like, it's truth.
It is the
truth. You become who you surround yourself with.
That's right.
And you said something there about, what was it, about letting those people go. So here's a really good, because if you have a dream, and we all have dreams, we may not have the clarity behind them, but we all have one. Now, whether or not we've taken the time to look at what that is,
right.
A lot of people don't. That's why they're in the mess that they're in, is because they don't ask those questions and they don't want to know, and they will, wake up at some point at the end of their life and they will be filled with regret because they never decided to ask those questions and hold themselves accountable to those answers, because that's what actually will get you forward in transformation and growing and get you towards your dream. Because if you never try, you'll never get there. If you try, you're gonna probably have some hard lessons to learn, and I'll tell you, when you make a decision to change your life, that is when life will come and test your resolve. It's happened every single time I have made a huge, key, distinctive decision. Sometimes within hours, something will happen.
I'm going on a diet. Next thing you know, somebody shows up at your door. I have a pizza. You ready? Like, no. I just made my mind I wasn't going to eat that.
Well, and sometimes may you learn the lessons quickly, and may they be that small.
Yes, exactly.
Because the lessons that have been coming and knocking on my door,
that's a little bitty one.
They've been gut checking. But you know what? Again, that's gonna happen, and you decide and you commit to the practice of it, and you just don't let anything stop you. So when you look at taking people out of your lives, and that's very hard for me, because and people know that you become my friend, and that's in the moment that we talk.
Yes.
I mean, I really still hold that, like, I become friends with, I try to become friends with everybody person I talk to, and I try and hold love in my heart for them.
In the grocery store, I made 5 friends. I got 5 new friends.
Thank God I held that from grade school or kindergarten, because I meet the best people that way. But in letting people go, that's been a really hard choice for me. But I've had to make those difficult decisions, and people that I love to the bottom of my soul, and I still love them to the bottom of my soul. But unfortunately, I love myself just as much. So it became a choice that I knew that if I used those relationships and hurt myself with them, I wouldn't get to fulfill my purpose. I wouldn't be able to go change the world, because I'm not taking care of myself. And if I take care of myself, if I create a health plan for myself, and I do all these things, that I work on the personal development, and I work on keeping my heart open, and I work on feeding my body and feeding my mind and feeding my soul, I will be stronger to help support more people. I will be stronger to help support the dream that I have. And when you guys are talking about your dreams and looking at that, and when you're faced with that decision of letting some of those toxic people go, think about that. Because if you allow them to hurt you, like, nobody's going to take care of you except for you.
Yep.
You know, nobody's going to take care of you better than yourself.
That's right.
So own that and know that you've got your own purpose and you've got your own unique path, and you need to be strong. You need to be healthy. You need to be mentally aware and intentional and impactful. And that comes from deciding that, you know, what you will put up with and what you won't put up with.
Tolerating.
You know, and what you're tolerating. And again, what you're allowing your mind and heart and body to focus on. Like those things are huge. So again, your beliefs are everything in this life, and they will create your life. It's not about what happens in life. It's not about the circumstances. It's basically the story that we get out of all of that, you know, that we tell ourselves, and we can tell ourselves that you know, today is a crappy day in Michigan because it's cold out and it's gray and there's no, or not even gray, but I mean there's
not a lot of sun.
There's not a lot of sun, and there's not a whole lot of there's no leaves on the trees. And it's just exactly, you know, or it's the first day of spring, the sunshine is out, everything is gearing up to regrow, everything, like you can feel the energy of the rebirth. The wind is amazing. It's beautiful. Like we're sitting next to some beautiful green pine trees.
They're just like radiating. It's like, oh, it's spring.
So again, it's all about that story. It's all about those things that you tell yourself. So I don't know, I mean, did you have anything else that you wanted to touch on today, or?
No, I think I'm good. I think this was really good. I just thank you for joining us. I thank you.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for having me this time. I usually have her on Destiny Words, and this time I said, let's go the other way. You have me on your site.
Absolutely.
And so,
well, and we're
I'll share it on my site. So
and we're gonna do some great things together. We're gonna you know, starting next week, like I said, we're gonna start to have some classes. If you guys want to come down, if you're interested, again, please comment, please like the video, please share it. The more that we get comments, the more like you guys interact with us on this, the more we get played. Yes, the more we do it again, because
they want it again. Okay, let's go.
And if you guys have any questions too, I know when I've kind of hit some roadblocks and everything like that, I've reached out to you for some card readings, and you know, I do card readings too, but it's interesting when you get somebody that you know, complements your life and has their own skills and has their own beautiful gifts that they bring to the table. And Drema is one of those people that when I'm struggling a little bit spiritually, or when I'm struggling a little bit, you know, and I need some guidance and some messages, I reach out to her, and the messages that you provide to me, you know,
revalidates the direction you're already going.
Absolutely.
So, I do that too. But sometimes I'll do it for myself, and I'll be like, okay, so I need another validation. What are you saying? You know, what's really and then bang, it always comes together and it always aligns. It's so perfect.
Well, and how much today, with the thoughts that, you know, with the thoughts that I had driving over here, and with the thoughts that you had, and with what you printed out, like how many answers did we get to all of our questions?
Huge. My favorite word today is huge. I keep saying it. I don't know why, but it is. It's just so magnificent. I just feel it. I feel expansion. Expansion.
And it just, I mean, when it started out, you know, you could tell there was that confinement. You could tell that there was this little story that was ruminating, this little you know, ball of fear and anxiety and everything like that. And now it's opened up, and now everything is possible, and we're gonna go get it.
We're gonna go get it. We'll bring it back.
We're gonna share it, but we're gonna go get it, and we're gonna share it. So anyway, you guys, have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned. We got a lot coming. Okay.
Okay. Bye.